Morning, John.
Morning.
Name belong you, John Wartovo?
Yes.
Now, Papa belong you, Pira?
Yes.
You belong where? Belong Nanook village?
Nanook.
Belong Coppercoat sub-district?
Yes.
You married? You got married?
Yes, we got married.
You got how much pickaninny?
6 fella picking.
6 fella pickaninny. You got how much money, how much married?
4 fella man and 2 fella married.
4 men and 2 married. Good, thank you. John, you've shown on this application form you have some cocoa and coconuts. Do you mind, would you ask John whether he has any other source of outside income?
John, when I get back home, I might kill a manager. 10 and make me a book of bra.
Toman Pagana, Pulumara, break a money, Maravia.
And we already walk along, several along bridge, I said, I see little money too long, walk along sea.
Right, he works as a casual stevedore on the wharf. John, do you own any land in the village at Nanook?
Tapia Kanama Nanook.
But I was to look at that.
You know that, Kiran and
He hasn't got any ground. Is this another reason why you want to go to Hoskins to take up an oil palm block?
This is my eldest brother, Wartovo. He is about to do the most difficult thing he will ever do in his lifetime, leave the village where he was born. The patterns of traditional life throughout Papua New Guinea are changing, and in many ways my brother's story is typical. Life in our village is free and easy, and most times there are plenty of people around, but especially at this time when my second brother Irima is home for his holidays.
Hey! Ada kial! Muna dia muna kakain. Pinang muna beli bulu-bulu.
It is 4 years since Irima went to work on the big copper project on Bougainville Island. His wife does not see him through the year and would like to keep him to herself these times. But many people come to hear his stories of the things which are happening, especially my brother Wartovo.
Dadi kung rada na mata na pi ipuang war ipuang. Yai lo it rigi rokopa pi. Ang mana wano pa dia kapai ura termeti na rokopa. Ura gigi namur nami. Ura para pipe ura ma.
The Bougainville copper mine is a place which means many things to many people in Papua New Guinea. But to my brother Irima, it is simply a place to work and earn money. He is employed as a bus driver, taking people between their housing areas and the shopping center at Panguna. Like so many people from all over Papua New Guinea, he was attracted by the talk of big money and the good opportunities for training. Irima lacks the education to take advantage of the many courses and scholarships available at Panguna, but he is earning big money compared with what he could earn in the village. The operation of the mine is very simple. The ore is blasted, shoveled into trucks, carried to the primary crusher, and then taken to the stockpile before being processed. The Bougainville copper mine said to be the biggest open-cut copper mine in the world, returns a high export income for my country. It is also the source of great controversy. As I said, many things for many people. The knowledge of Bougainville makes Irima seem very sophisticated. I cannot imagine what my brother Wartovo would think if he could see the mine, for it is so far from the things of his own experience. What Wartovo understands most clearly is that the time soon comes for Irima to return to Bougainville. With what mixture of envy and sadness my brother Wartovo sees Irima, I do not know. Certainly he is influenced by these visits and most likely confused as well. And then there is me. I have been living away from the village since I was 14, when my father decided one of his sons should go to high school. I was studying for an arts degree at the University of Papua New Guinea in Port Moresby when my father died. My brothers Wartovo and Irima encouraged me to stay here to continue my studies. At that time, I could very easily have gone back to the village. My name is Takavong. Eventually, I graduated with an arts degree and took a job with a shell company. Naturally, the main topics of discussion among my university friends are politics and the future of my country. But we are a minority, and I think it is the people in the villages who will ultimately make a greater influence on our future. In many ways, I envy my brother Wartovo, and I feel sad to think that he too will probably leave the village. And I know this decision will be harder for him than for any of us, because he is much closer to the village life. The fishing beach near Nanook village is run like a cooperative, with everyone helping to build and launch the canefish traps, for which the Tolai people are famous. This is where my brother Wartovo lives. The house and land once belonged to our father, and he bought them from his clan and handed them down to me. Wartovo does not own any house or land in Nanook village, which is one of the reasons he applied for land at Hoskins. Wartovo still makes the secret herbal mixtures which my father taught him to prepare, and many village people come to my brother for cures for minor illnesses. This does not mean that if anyone in the village is taken seriously ill, he will not seek medical treatment. Remember, the Tolai people have had contact with Europeans for nearly 100 years, and there are hospitals and clinics available a short distance away in Rubao. Wartovo's wife takes their preschool children to the clinic which visit the village once a month. But village traditions lie deep, and the small green coconut is chosen by Wartovo as much for its magical powers as its healing qualities. The most important feature of a Tolai man's spiritual life is his membership in the secret Tuk-Tuk Society. My brother Wartovo has been through the 5 initiation ceremonies which lead up to full membership, the thing I most regret losing through leaving the village when I did. The Tuk-Tuk Society is restricted to men, and initiation begins at the age of 5 and is a part of a child's education in traditional arts. The final initiation marks a child's emergence into manhood. When a man dies, his house or other possessions may be ceremonially destroyed as a mark of sorrow or respect. On the death of a big or wealthy man, the raising of a duk-duk will involve elaborate exchanges of tambu or shell money, the traditional currency of our people. For the rest of the day, the duk-duk will try to outdo each other in competition dancing.
tutuai una kaila lama bida baur kurai tavana palna cover manano.
Oh, masarap. Ang
Kita
sinasabi
naman
ko
ang
palumno
nanay.
para wala nga palumno para. Ako palumno ara bukas ka palumno lama. Ini nga mulai bakal sa palumno. Ini bako robo.
Ito para nyoro na.
So, ko lagu palumno ba.
With 4 children at school, my brother needs a cash income. Wartovo has been working on Rubal waterfront as a casual laborer for 5 years, and now he leads the gang from Nanok village. The need for extra money takes many people away from their homes, for they find that as their needs change, the village economy is no longer adequate. The people's market in Rubal is an important outlet for village-grown crops. Wartovo's wife, Apu, comes here regularly to sell coconuts, fish, and vegetables. Although Market Day has the distinct air of a social occasion, most of the women, like my brother's wife, are here out of a real need to improve their family's standard of living. The 1972 election was the most important we have had in Papua New Guinea, for the new House of Assembly was to prepare the way for self-government, and one of the most hotly contested issues among my people was whether or not we are ready for independence. On the Gazelle Peninsula, local feelings are aggravated by the shortage of land and increasing population. Many people were demanding independence immediately. The problems here are very complex and deeply felt.
Pata kau guinging right ka bulang da kadati na tati dragunan. Gotia inging right sumo Australia bana jo. Ya gotia likun tan bertime. Yo dari abot guru tare si dragunan abagati tetapi de pukoi guru council for patra 1963. Sogulo ina kilala rogulo na parao. Gari abo tama kita tahu rego. Yo jauh piau biti dari ba. Jauh makiri aku makora council trama ma.
There is no postman who comes to our village, but one of my uncles picks up the mail from the nearest post office at Kokopo. I have written to Wartovo to tell him that I have some holidays and will soon be back in the village. My mother has had great difficulty in accepting the fact that the old way of life is changing and that two of her sons already live so far away from her, especially now that Wartovo is thinking of leaving. Yet, even after 8 years of living away from Nanook, I am still strongly drawn to village life. I paid the traditional bride price for my wife, Senat, who also comes from Nanook village, and we had a traditional Tolai wedding. The traditional Tolai handshake implies no lack of enthusiasm on the part of my mother, for she is always pleased to see me, especially now that we have a 6-month-old baby. My brother Wartovo was anxious to discuss his plans for settling at Hoskins. There are many problems for him, and although we had made application for land, he is still unsure of his final decision. He feels it would mean leaving the village for the rest of his life. He was very interested to hear of my life in Port Moresby and of my new job with the Shell Company.
Shell Company. A training boko rakilala. Boko uta go palong tunabu. Kan nawana Australia pata wana bato bai training. Amur wangina turuk pal. Amur kanaminel kunyo inwan kan Moresby bare nawana palomire rai. Ti daro lei bato nenna pata.
Many of the commercial companies operating in Papua New Guinea are looking ahead to the time when our country achieves full independence, and there are many opportunities for people with a reasonable education and a will to learn.
Now I want you to change the objective and use the other one and see if you can see any difference.
My brother's eldest son, Pipira, started this year at the new high school at Kokopo.
I can see the piece of iron bigger than before.
Everybody, pull a hair from your head.
Fortunately, he can attend high school without having to leave the village as I did. But if he wants to take full advantage of his education, he and many others like him will eventually have to leave the village.
Why did she go to the market? Because she wanted to buy some tomatoes. Now, listen to the sentence carefully, and then I will ask the question, and point one of you to answer. Get ready to answer the question.
There are over 700 completely different tribal languages in Papua New Guinea, and Wartovo's children at primary school will learn to speak English before they can learn any other subject.
Why did she go to the store?
Because she wanted to buy some tin of fish.
This is my nephew Takavong, named after me, and his little brother Tiliu. Misa, the eldest girl, will probably be starting at high school next year. Although educational facilities have greatly improved over the last few years, there are still many criticisms of the present system. But we are also being taught how to change things if we do not agree with them. For in the grounds of the primary school, the parents are having their own lessons in the ways of democratic principle. Voting is not compulsory, but I am very proud to see my mother here because it means that in some ways she is accepting the new way of life.
The people in the truck go bang, 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 bang. The people in the truck go bang, 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 over the bumpy road.
Para dewa tangga grupa misal mana gini. Dia orang ada mereka kami ada kiki keram neliti mah.
Not all of the work done by my brother brings in a cash return. The cocoa does not belong to him and the land is owned by relatives. When people leave the village, those who remain behind are under a traditional obligation to harvest their crops. At last, the letter came to tell ToWartovo that his application for land at Hoskins was successful. Now was the time for ToWartovo to make his decision. Although there was still much confusion in his mind, he decided to go. Hoskins is on the north coast of West New Britain. ToWartovo's fare was paid, but he was obliged to come on his own so that he could settle in and make the necessary preparations for his wife and children. It will be 3 months before he can see his family again. The Hoskins oil palm development is designed to resettle people from areas where land is scarce and is in a way a social experiment. For the first time in his life, ToWartovo will mix with people from other parts of Papua New Guinea. About half the settlers in Hoskins are from the Sepik district, and the other half are mainly Chimbu and Tolai people. The oil palm settlement scheme has already been operating for 4 years, and the first settlers have 4 acres of fruit-bearing trees. Because new settlers have no money available to employ labor, ToWartovo will have to find people willing to help him in clearing and establishing his new block, and his first contacts will naturally be people he knew from villages around the Gazelle Peninsula. The fruit spoils quickly after it has been picked, so it is harvested each day sold to a cooperative and processed at a factory on the settlement. The processed oil is exported and used for producing margarine, cooking fats, soap and detergent. There are many new things for Wartovo to learn. He will get some help from friends, but everything will depend on his own efforts. Eventually, 8 of his 15 acres will be grown with oil palm, and the rest will be used for subsistence farming and cash crops. When Wartovo eventually moves on to his own block, he will get plenty of help and advice from agricultural officers. All new settlers are given an allowance and a development bank loan. With this, Wartovo can buy the tools, seedling palms and pesticides he will need, as well as the prefabricated materials for his house. But before Wartovo can do any planting, he has 4 acres of land, which is first cleared of forest by a logging contractor. The trees are not wasted, for timber is becoming one of the biggest export industries in my country. When the forest is cleared, Wartovo's work lies ahead of him. It will be 4 years before his first trees bear fruit, and in 5 years' time, he must begin to pay back the loan. It will be 8 years before Wartovo's block is fully developed. And although my brother is a hard-working man, he was born in a place where life is easy, food is plentiful, and time is not important. Before long, Wartovo again found a part-time job to supplement his income. The responsibilities of his new life must have weighed heavily upon him, for even before the 3 months were up, he arrived back in the village.
ka na magit, di ka nawawala ruway. Ayang ina nawawala ruway. Kaswari, pero tinatayang ilis. Ma, ninigapit, gora tinata, warawala ruway.